We were looking for ideas that would resonate with the Pacific Northwest, and because performance was such a big goal for this project, I think that drove a lot of the decision making, and I think create a really welcoming space.
It's exciting. I really love this part of my job, and it's a groundbreaking initiative, and I think it's led to some really fun things, so I'm pretty excited about it.
What I want to happen is when people are going to see friends and family, that they're taking their Northwest experience back home with them to say, hey, this is what I did. This is what this town is about.
We are the Northwest. We are about community, and it's really an amazing facility. And I think that's exactly what we're looking for the future.
This afternoon, we are celebrating this important milestone for the C Concourse Expansion project. The Port of Seattle is committed to our mission of creating opportunities that promote quality of life. This project is a brilliant representation of what that looks like.
You know, the topping of the steel structure behind me is a major milestone in the project to add 4 more floors to this concourse.
My name is Brian Court. I'm a partner with the Miller Hall Partnership in Seattle. I'm an architect, and I was the design lead for the project. I've had the great opportunity in my time at Miller Hall to work on some of the most sustainable projects the firm has undertaken. A lot of those principles have influenced the design of the C Concourse Expansion project.
So even in our proposal stage, before we interviewed for the project, we had probably 7 or 8 key sustainable design features that were incorporated in the project, and many of them lasted through today.
I think this is a remarkable achievement and our commitment to doing things differently than have been done in the past.
So our commission adopted very aggressive sustainability goals. The purpose of this project was to try to develop a new program to help us evaluate the potential impacts of expansion before we make the decision to expand, and then think about ways to reduce those impacts. And then when Concourse C emerged, it was just the right time to use it as a pilot project for this new concept.
The one thing that I guess in the course of doing this, that I think became very apparent to me is that there's a latent desire at staff level to come up with really clever ideas.
And then we pulled together a group of stakeholders and interested folks to say, okay, what would be some ideas that we could evaluate to see if we can reduce our carbon? And we took those ideas and gave them to the designers and said, here, evaluate all of these things, tell us what are the environmental benefits, how much carbon would we reduce, and how much would it cost us? We took that information, then we sat down with different decision makers, including our senior management, senior leadership at the airport, and then also our commission. And all across the board, leadership was really supportive of all of the initiatives that we proposed.
So we knew that the port was serious about their commitment and that we could lean into that with the initiatives that we had proposed early on in the design.
And I think having the commitment from the ownership group, the Port of Seattle, just with their goal of becoming the greenest port in North America, and we really latched onto that from the beginning of this process, knowing that we had, a willing partner in a lot of the issues that, we hold near and dear from a design side, and marrying buildings with sustainable design.
I would add the project management teams on both maritime and aviation have been a huge part in bringing this, as well as project sponsors. So.
I'm Katie Carroll, and I'm one of the owners of Bite Society.
I'm Lindy Hensley, and I'm also an owner of Bite Society. We were caterers in Seattle for 25 years, and when the pandemic happened and everything shut down, we shut down 4 cafes, a pretty large-sized catering operation, got it down to 1 employee, gave away all the food, locked up the vehicles, and went home. And then all of a sudden, we had time on our hands, an enormous commercial kitchen, and a little bit of an idea.
I think the early days was a lot of experimentation, a lot of making things that weren't going to work, and it was mostly because we couldn't get samples. Like, we tried to get mixed nuts, couldn't get them, so we made nuts. I think that was kind of the beginning parts. I also think one thing that was funny was we knew how to make things that were going to get served pretty immediately, and we had to learn about packaging, which it's not just a tin.
And we were looking for something uniquely American. I think this idea of artwork on tins with food in it existed before us, but we wanted to put a uniquely American spin on it and a uniquely Pacific Northwest spin on it.
My name is Janet Shear, and I'm the Port's Capital Program Leader for the C Concourse Expansion. My focus as a program leader is scope, schedule, and budget, trying to keep them all in line all day, every day. SEA is a very space-constrained airport for what we put through this building when it comes to passengers and flights. So building up was really the only option for this project. The FAA does establish a three-dimensional envelope around the airport that you're not allowed to penetrate with buildings. And we built our building right up to the very dimensions of that envelope. It's what drove the shape of the building. So the sloped roof, in essence, follows the line of the envelope that the FAA has established.
It was very constrained. So there was an existing building from 2005 that told us where our columns were. We did improvements on the foundation, but it set the core structure. Because there was very limited laydown space, we had to work with the general contractor to incorporate some prefabrication. Some of the metal panels, some of the exterior stud framing were fabricated off-site so you can get quicker erection on the site. And it was the first time that the airport had seen a crane.
For this project, it really was in the middle of a very, very busy area of the airfield. That intersection between Concourse D is very, heavily used. So all of our activities that might have any kind of impact on air operations had to be very carefully coordinated with, quite frankly, a fantastic team that we have here at the airport that's responsible for coordinating those kind of things.
The airport has to stay operational and functional throughout the project, so there's a lot of technical coordination, again, on the baggage levels and keeping that airport functioning, getting a tower crane in and out, all of that extraordinarily complex.
The watchword is, do not impact operations. So that does add complexity and sometimes time, but we know that, the passengers and the flights take priority, and that's what we keep in mind every day.
There's two sort of main strategies for sustainably operating building. One is reducing the loads, also eliminating the fossil fuels. So we think it sets a great precedent and an example for the rest of the port facilities at SEA.
We were able to get about 90% reduction in the increase in carbon emissions. We knew that it would increase energy load. Our goal is to increase all energy load by conservation of renewables. We were able to meet that goal by about 50%.
It's the first project to be an all-electric facility. So there are air source heat pumps up on the roof. There's no fossil fuels burned in the building at all, including all the cooking at the restaurants. It's the first PV array up on the roof, a little over 500 kilowatt array on the roof. That'll power about 12% of the building's annual energy. So it goes to show, the strength of the sustainability framework that you mentioned and the commitment of the port and, what a good team can pull off.
It could be that you decide you want us to do more, put a solar panel on, invest in wind energy. There's lots of things that could happen here that are really additional to the environmental review. So I see them as complementary.
We were the first major project at the airport to utilize that sustainable framework. That kind of collaboration with, our environmental group and with the Port Commission committee that's responsible for establishing all those, it did push us to really identify each and every opportunity that we had to make the building more sustainable.
We have a number of facilities here that have attained a LEED certification. We've often got LEED Silver, but this one, with all of the attributes and the framework that was able to provide, it's on its way, I think, to be the first LEED Gold project at the airport.
What are you doing now?
Just doing something. Just give me a minute. I know.
Done, girls. The LGBTQ plus business group is the GSBA, and we've been members forever. So I went to something at the GSBA where there was somebody from the port there, and he was talking about the kiosk program. I registered with the port, got on their list to get the mailings, and tracked it like crazy. And finally the announcement came out and we were all over it.
We are extremely excited about our Concourse C expansion. Thank you again for being here. Our airport dining and retail program is a large aspect of this expansion.
Yeah, we applied for the CCE. They put on a class for people who are interested in being in the airport, and they just really talked about how to fill out your proposal to the airport and what made a good one or a not so good one. And we were really nervous about how much it was going to cost to build out. So we kind of sat on the fence for a bit, and then we were like, we're being dumb, let's just do this. This will be good for us. And so we put in our application, and it was fun to do that application. It was hard. It was the hardest term paper I've ever written. And so we applied, and then we got in.
Have been awarded the small business space.
I thought you were going another way! Oh my God!
That's awesome.
Oh my, you guys! This is amazing!
My name's Erin Gora, and I am the Capital Program Leader, so I oversee all project management for our tenant group. Coordination was very, very extensive and very deliberate as we went through. There was a lot of stakeholders for us to coordinate with: tenants, general contractors, designers, port staff, authorities having jurisdiction for those that permit it. So coordination and collaboration has been very extreme this entire process, but also very needed to make sure all of the details fell into place from both design and construction. Commercial projects definitely have a lot of planning and a lot of oversight that go into them. Tenant projects are unique because tenants come into a pre-made shell, and so it's a lot of coordination with the base building side of the house that built the shell for the tenant to go into. And so it's really challenging for the tenants to kind of come into a pre-made condition and then effectively build out their vision for their concept.
We go weekly to the space. So, you go from studs and kind of a little bit of base building walls to we now have our casework and cabinets and furniture's even starting to get delivered. The lights went in, and it starts to become more and more real each week as we go and see it.
The space itself is gorgeous.
Yeah.
The big building is absolutely beautiful. And so that has been, a treat to be part of that process.
Being able to coordinate that shell space that effectively each of those tenants were able to get from the Port of Seattle, and then building out all of those, that took a lot of time and coordination from both the design perspective and construction to get it as pristine as folks will see it when it opens.
morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us in this exciting milestone for the C Concourse Expansion project and the Upgrade SEA program.
This space raised the roof not only at the airport, but how the travelers could experience their travels.
It's truly incredible. You have brought the outside in. You've created a space that is an incredible first impression for folks who are traveling for their first time from here to the world. This is the kind of project that demonstrates who we are as a region and as an institution at the Port of Seattle.
I love everything about our space. I love this space, and it's been great to see all the people who were involved in making this happen. It's been a reminder today of we started this over 2 years ago. Yes. So it is a long haul, and frankly, it came out better than even we expected.
I think for me, seeing that little rendering video they did over 2 years ago to today and being like, kind of looks like it. I mean, it's having the soaring ceilings in an airport is, I think, kind of exciting. It's going to be huge for us because a lot of people come through Pike Place, it does, but I mean, everybody comes through the airport at some point or another, and having that exposure, I think, will be monumental for us.
This project has enlightened us to what we can do and what's ahead of us. To also know that we can do hard things and we can do it well.
It's also important that our tenants know that we partnered for them, we advocated for them, we fought for them. We really tried to inherit the passion that they have and that they're proud of the vision. And for us, just being a part of somebody's brainchild and somebody's vision that we help bring them to life is one of the biggest rewards and successes any of us can ask for.
We're going to have such a much bigger footprint just in the number of people who are going to come and see us, learn about us, hear our story, try our food, take it with them, and it means everything to us.
From the beginning, this project for us was about place, performance, and partnership. And I think the Port has been an ideal client. It let us do our jobs. And again, it's been a fantastic process from our perspective all the way through.
And one of my favorite parts of this job is getting in a room with a really smart group of people and just seeing how we can solve these problems. And that is something that I think almost gets a little lost, is that buildings are handcrafted by, a really skilled group of people.
SEA can represent so many things beyond just being an airport. It's part of our journey, and we're so proud to be adding this space as part of SEA's journey